Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome
Good
to Money
morning.
and Mindset with Dr. Money Live and Dr.
I'm
Story Genius. So how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Good.
Wonderful.
Trying to get my Bluetooth to work, but it seems like I'm just going to be using the computer audio the regular way. So hopefully everybody can hear me fine.
Yeah, I hear you well. I hear you well.
Perfect. Perfect. Sounds good then. Then that works.
I'm back at the Pelican Lookout again. Today I decided to kind of join in on the theme and get into the color.
Oh
I
yeah,
was doing
Jamaica.
it so much yesterday.
I see. I see. That's fantastic. You really got it going now.
Yeah. So how you doing?
Everything is going pretty good. It's a really foggy day today, so it's really kind of hard to go out and do anything. A little bit of sun. I don't usually like to run in the sun or walk in the sun, but even a little bit would help. But it's a great day. It's a beautiful, beautiful day still.
Here.
It's fog. Say again?
It's raining here today. It's raining.
Oh, okay.
So you know how it is when
Okay.
it rains. That means technology is kind of, got to work with it, give it a little extra.
That is why
But I was
you
proud
have
of
the kind of
myself.
fuzzy look. It's a fuzzy.
Okay.
Your screen looks a little fuzzy. I think your internet connection's kind of slow.
Okay. No worries. Well, even in the rain, I guess I've gotten my groove going on with these walks. So I did my steps anyway. And that felt so wonderful. Victory.
Did you actually walk in the rain?
Yes, lady. Just,
All right. You
just
really
did
are
it.
doing good. Yeah, you really are doing good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
And
I
so,
know today. Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was saying, I know this week we started yesterday talking about the value of money and talking about kind of doing an assessment, going back a little bit, and just kind of thinking about how you started thinking about money in your childhood, because that determines how you handle money today and the things that you do with money today. And I thought about it. I was thinking about it myself last night and thinking about all the mixed messages that I received growing up with money stories. And, I already mentioned the money doesn't grow on trees. And we were in church every Sunday, in Sunday school and everything. And every Sunday school teacher talked to us about how difficult it's harder for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get in heaven. So don't be rich. It was pretty much like, don't want to be rich. You shouldn't want to be rich. That's sinful. That's awful. That's terrible. And even growing up and feeling this idea of lack, even though it was such a dichotomous messaging, because my mother would always say, she would say things like, I remember the story that hit me the hardest was my mom saying, I said I needed something. And she says, you think you need new shoes until you meet a man with no feet. And oh my gosh, that just hit me. I thought to myself, oh my gosh, people don't have feet. Oh, it's awful. That's terrible. And so, we pass these generational stories on to our children and these beliefs onto our children. And my daughter, Mathia, who is very much wiser than I am. We often ask who's the parent, who's the child. But she had asked me something when she was really young. I think she must have been about 5 or 6 years old. And I think she literally was asking for new shoes and had so many pairs of shoes already. And I thought, what a great time for me to use this messaging so she could get the point and start feeling this. So I said to her, you think you need no new shoes until you meet a person with no feet. And she looked at me and she said, well, Mom, they probably don't need shoes, but I need to get these shoes because and then I'm thinking, how did I miss that message? Just the idea that she was like, I have to take care of me. That this is not about the person who doesn't have feet. I mean, maybe we can go get them some feet, but I need some shoes. So I started telling that story because today's messaging was really going to be about taking care of yourself. And the whole idea of where we came from yesterday, in terms of we get a lot of our beliefs from where we grow up and the things that we do. sometimes we got to get ourselves some shoes. And my daughter recognized that very early, that it's about taking care of me. I have to take care of me. Otherwise, I can't help the person with no feet.
Right,
And
right.
I love to tell that story because I just felt like it was such a wisdom moment for me. And it really opened me up with that early age of hers, like 5 or 6 years old, saying something like that. And I was much older when my mother said it to me. And it just hit me like, I'll never ask for anything again. I should think of other people before I think of myself. I should, and it put me into this whole spiral of taking care of others instead of taking care of me. And it's a terrible spiral to be in, because if you do take care of others more than you take care of yourself, then you really can't take care of others, because then you're not well enough. And so with that, I think I'll open up our topic for today, which was about your money and your health and your mindset and your health, and how we have to have this healthy mindset in order for us to have a healthy pocket. And you were going to share a little bit about Dr. Aubrey Oliver, who was going to be with us today, but I'm not sure if he's able to join us or not.
Right. I have to realize that he is, this time of day, it's already 4:15 in the afternoon, and knowing him, he's diligently seeing patients, has a passion about wellness. And the conversations that we've shared, he constantly includes that your wealth is about your wellness, because certainly when you've treated or dealt with some of the sickest, I think it frames things for you of how, when you run yourself down, and a lot of it ends using energy therapies, just the importance of, your mindset and how that also contributes to your healing. So he has a lot of great things to share. I hope he'll be able to jump on. I did send him information so that he'd be prepared, but he did say, that's right in the middle of the time that I'm treating patients. I'm going to do my best. So if we don't catch him today, we'll catch him again and allow him to share with that. But what you said is really so important, because I'm going to shift to Wallace Wattles in The Science of Getting Rich, the very first chapter. And if we think about when people oftentimes start at the beginning of a point that they want to make, and then they continue along as they progress to sort of build knowledge blocks. And so if you were to look at how a book is organized, typically the foundation is being laid in chapter 1. And so chapter 1, amazingly, again, this is back in the 1800s. Chapter 1 is entitled The Right to be Rich. The right to be rich. And so that made me think, then that's so interesting that in the 1800s, people were struggling with similar mentalities regarding if it is they should think resources and how they would take and utilize those resources, that he would have to start a chapter talking about that. We've got to change your mindset to even put you in the right thought, to know that it is a right. And it's not only a right, it's a responsibility, because, I heard the Bible story that different things that were slothful, but the failure to develop the talents that you have been blessed with, that is the message. Like, wow, it's like, you think you get something, and then you have this mind explosion. You are all gifted with talents. We're all gifted with talents, and those talents are supposed to contribute to humanity. So sitting there and not doing it, doing what you're supposed to do, that is slothful.
Absolutely. And when you think about that, it also speaks to the motivation of people. Oftentimes people come to me for coaching, and they're saying they're not motivated to do anything. They don't feel like doing anything, that it's just too hard for them to get motivated. That's a sign of slothfulness as well, because motivation is a part of who you are. You have to self-motivate. There is nothing outside of you that'll motivate you. And your thoughts generate new thoughts all the time. And Waddles talks about this in The Mind of the Science of Money as well, that every living thing, not just every living person, but every living thing has to continually seek an increase. And that is that motivation. That motivation is about continually seeking and seeking, because just living, I think he says something like the mere act of living is an increase, because every day you're adding to the earth. It's like every day that you live is increase. And for you not to seek increase, to be motivated, to get your mindset so that you are ready to receive the increase that you seek, that in itself is not in alignment with who you are. So the desire to have money, or as many might call it, riches, I think in the 1800s they would call it riches. The desire for riches is not just something that people should want. It is a part of who we are, because we grow every day, we increase every day. So God desires us to be rich so that he can continue to express himself in us. That's how we grow. That's how we manifest into who we are. And when people understand that, when we begin to understand it, see the lilies and the birds and the bees that come to visit you and the butterflies, they all understand it. And they go out and they're like, I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy that. I'm going to eat from all of these little bushes. I'm going to sing around Stephanie. I'm going to do this. They go out and they go for it. And they live their life abundantly through its fruition. And then it blossoms into something else, whether it's that caterpillar blossoming into its next phase of a butterfly, blossoming into a moth, and off into whoever knows what it goes into. That's the simplest of living life fully. When you see those lilies coming out, or those roses, and you're like, oh my God, it's so vibrant, it's so beautiful, because it has said, I'm going to burst forth. I'm going to take everything. I'm going to take all the sun. I'm going to take all the water I can get. I'm going to take all the earth I can get, because I want to be richly growing into what I was supposed to be, into my purpose. They get it. Those things get it. Every living thing is supposed to seek increase. That's us. We're living things too. We're the people. And when we start to understand that God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, wants us to manifest in our fullest glory, then we can start that desire to go and have the increase and get that mindset so that you can get the increase. So the mindset is actually understanding that. Then you go forth and it'll happen. It starts to manifest.
Yeah, it's so true. You know, we're talking about, sometimes people look at the end game and they go, oh, I want that, I want that, I want that. Or the example of, do you recognize a diamond in its raw form? You know, you walk by, you have no clue what the raw form of the diamond looks like. You could step over it. That happened, I would say, yesterday. I was walking along the beach in the morning, and I'm walking along, and I see something that looks like it could just be waste or whatever that's, you know, blown up on the soil. Another person walks by and is picking something off of something, and I'm going, literally, that just looks like something that blew off of a tree or something. And they show me the finished product of that. And it's that point of, think about this. You can be looking at something of value, but because you do not recognize it in its raw form, you are stepping right over it. You're ignoring it. You're paying it no mind. But the trained eye that recognizes the thing, not for the state that it's in at the moment, but in the state that it could be, that is what vision is all about. So oftentimes people set up, they want these outcomes, but they're only looking at the end game. They didn't recognize what the precursor looks like. you know, in order to get up before you get to the end game, right? Oh, looks like we might have. We might.
Oh, cool. And the precursor may not look as healthy as we think, but that's where your mindset, we can start bringing us back into our bodies, back into who we are purposed to be.
Yes. Yes.
So do you see Dr. Oliver there? Is he going to be coming on?
Like I see something. I don't see a camera yet. So maybe he's
okay. Well, if he does come on, it'll lead us right into what we were talking about. You may see yourself in a certain way, but in actuality, we are these wonderful manifestations of God, of creation, and need to think forward into where we'll be. No one's ever, you're not going to get what you want by looking at what you don't want. Right. You always want to ask for what you want. So if we want to be healthy, we have to start looking at things that are healthy and living our life like we're already healthy. And I'm not trying to do a big hate on McDonald's or Burger King or any of those type of things, because you could actually be at a McDonald's and get a healthy option. But you have to start setting your eyes on the things that are going to uplift you and feed you into that spirit of manifestation that you want. So when I say I want to be healthy, I can't continue to look at donuts and coffee as my major meal. That's not a healthy lifestyle. That's not what healthy looks like. You have to put a picture of what it is you want in front of you. And that's why visualization can be a very healthy tool to use as well for your health, for your money, for your mindset, for everything. Visualization and mantras can really, really help you to shift your mindset and to take you into where you want to be. When your mind's eye can begin to see what that outcome is that you're looking for, it attracts it to your physical space so much faster, so much more. Wealthy people don't get rich by looking at poor people. Wealthy people get rich by looking at wealthy people. You get to learn from those who have done it before. My niece asked me some years ago when she was getting married to tell her the keys to a successful marriage. And I said to her very, very clearly, ask somebody who had a successful marriage. Mine was not successful. And so you need to go to the source of people who do the thing the right way. So for me to give her advice, I could give her all kinds of advice of what not to do. But I wanted her to get what to do. What do you do to have a successful marriage? Because you want to work toward what that thing is that you want. Don't call into play what you don't want. And that's the other thing about the mindset and about the universe. What you say, it brings to you. So if I say, and don't wake him up every day, or whatever that don't thing is, that thing will actually manifest, because the universe doesn't understand don't. It understands, what do you want? What do you want? So it's going to just, you're saying these negative things, it's going to start giving you those negative things. So you want to set yourself so that you're saying positive mantras. You're speaking things into the future. And though she laughed and said, but I'm sure you could give me some advice, I said, seek advice from people who've been successful at what you want, because they're going to tell you the right thing. They're going to tell you the thing that landed them success. I didn't have success. I can't tell you what's going to work because it didn't work for me. So I go to the people that it worked for. And then when sometimes they tell me different things that I would have to do to be in this successful relationship, I'm like, well, gosh, let me ask somebody else.
Exactly. That's the decision. Exactly. Thinking about that. Well, I'm going to see if we have audio. I see Dr. Oliver.
I'm here.
I'm not sure if we have any
video and audio.
You can hear me? Can you hear me?
We'll see.
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, great.
Oh, you hear him?
Yeah, I've been hearing
Stephanie.
I've been on. I've been there for a while, but I just
don't
didn't
hear
know.
you, but
I sent you a message when I
okay.
came on. Okay, good.
Well, hello, Dr. Oliver. I don't
Hi.
think Dr. Money can hear you, but I am Dr. Thyonne. They call me the
Right.
story genius, and it's a pleasure to meet you. I've seen some of your work through
Thank
videos,
you. Thank you.
and I know we were in Jamaica at the same time, but I didn't have an opportunity to meet you. But I'm glad to
I
meet
know.
you.
I'm gonna see you soon, though. I should be that side pretty soon.
Yes, yes, yes. I have some
If,
people I
if they
want
let
you
me,
to meet too.
if they let me out of London, because they're shutting down London and they're talking about airport and all. But they did say that if you're going out for work, I can leave. So I mean, and it's funny because I was anticipating this happening coming to London last week.
Oh, well, let's certainly hope that you can get out and get here so we can get some work done. Well, we told
Exactly.
our audience you were going to talk with them about the health, their health and money, and
Yes,
how
exactly.
good health can attract money to you. So can you share a little bit with us?
Yes, they're definitely in parallel and singular, I would say, attachments to good health. Health is wealth. I mean, I always say that to my associates, that you know mind, body, and soul balance in a holistic way. When I treat my patients, I treat them holistically. So I don't look at them just as a symptom. I treat them as a whole body, a trinity, a universe: mind, body, and soul, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And that's just exactly as you were saying, that's how you deal with wealth. I mean, if you want to advance, you have to be balanced mentally, spiritually, and physically. If you want to be healthy, you have to be balanced mentally, spiritually, and physically. So they do go hand in hand. And as I said, you do have different kind of personalities and characteristics that are rich, and you do have the same kind of characteristics and personalities that are poor. So it has nothing to do with any of those aspects. But what it does have to do with is how you think, your thought process, your faith in what you believe, in your vision, your destiny. And it's similar with your health. You basically have to see yourself where it's funny because I dealt with a couple of cancer patients since I got here. Both of them, well, one of them is stage 4. And, I thought about it. The other one, he had severe kidney failure. I'd seen him before I left. And after I left and I came back, he deceased a couple of days ago because I didn't get to see him since I got in, because when I left London the last time, they took him to the hospital for dialysis. And his kidney wasn't as bad as other kidneys that I've dealt with in Jamaica, where they've reversed they were about the same, I would say the same condition, about less than 25%, because that's when they usually recommend dialysis, is when your kidney is not functioning, when your kidney is functioning below 25% of its capacity. So he was about that, around there. But he did not take on, I mean, I left a practitioner with him when I went back to Jamaica. I left one of the equipment that I use to ignite the cells in the organs, which is a COMRA, coherent multi-radiance. Every cell in your body can be rejuvenated or generated based on the condition that the cells are in. So I was trying to get them to work with his cells, but his mind was not there. And so after I left, the practitioner that was working with him couldn't go further because I wasn't there. And then his mind wasn't with the therapy. He was not feeling it as if he was in the hospital, and basically, make a long story short, he basically gave up mentally, because by the time I get back, he was in the hospital getting dialysis. And also, I felt like he didn't want to spend the money, which is sad, because as I said, I've worked with patients that are worse, and they're calling me recently, telling me how their kidneys back up to 70%, and they're excited and they're feeling great, and their life is, the quality is doing good. But this guy, just the mindset and the way he worship his finances, and basically, like, should I spend that extra money? The system here gives it to me free. I can go and get a free dialysis, and he's dead. He's dead now because of that.
It's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to take it with you? You can't take well, I guess the Egyptians thought they could take it with them and put it in their grave afterlife. But
exactly.
That really resonates with me. My brother actually is dealing with kidney issues and should be on dialysis, but refuses to go and get on dialysis. Now, I love the mindset of, I don't have to do that. I've lived this way, and that I love that. But at the same time, I can't get him to say, yes, but you have to look at what do you have to do to get your kidney reversed, to reversing.
Exactly.
So
I think I'm supposed to talk to him when I get by you guys, right?
No, that's Stephanie's. We have a lot of people that are sick here. Okay.
Okay. All right. We definitely.
My brother's so stubborn. If you talk to him, you may just say, "I'm back to London."
I might not be sharing Dr. Oliver.
Right. Exactly.
But I'm hearing her. Tell her I'm hearing her.
He can hear you, Stephanie.
I'm hearing her, Stephanie. So I don't know why. Tell her to check her mic.
I hear you now.
Okay, good.
There we go.
And so the bottom line is this.
I hear you all.
Okay, great. The bottom line is this. Your mind, your body and soul can heal you through your mind, through your thoughts. But you have to believe in whatever method you're going to go about that is proven, because, clinically, it needs to be proven that it works. As you were saying, perfect analogy, you're saying, a marriage that works, that is a good marriage, that is proven, is what your daughter should be getting advice from.
Right.
So any treatment, I know that works through my tests over the last 10, 12 years, my clinical research, I know that it works. I've seen prostatitis. I have seen kidney renal failure. I've seen heart problems. I've seen just about any kind of disease reversed with this kind of technology. And it's a new technology. It's been around for the last 60 years, but it was always a part of the Russian space program. It's just since 2009 that they actually came out and say, they can, some of the scientists, they branch off from the space program and develop their own similar type of healing mechanism, and then pass it on to the rest of their physicians throughout the Eastern Bloc country and so forth. So it's just getting to this side of the world over the last 8-9 years. When I got introduced to it, when it just got here, 2012. So I've been practicing it, and I've been experimenting and testing. I gave up everything I had in New York and Miami to move to Jamaica, live like Moses in the wilderness for about the last 12 years. Just basically treating and taking care of people free just to get the results that I'm getting now, So,
well, your name in itself says you'll be restored. You've got the name of Jacob, so you're going to be all right.
I'm a Jacob guy.
That's right.
Definitely. I didn't know it was to restore. I thought it was like the father of Israel, but it's still restore.
The father of Israel. Yeah, when you hear how the whole story of Jacob and Jacob, yes, the whole story.
He's the one that fought with the angel Gabriel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think I had some of those fights when I was in Jamaica. Trust me.
Okay. Yeah.
I was like, "You're not leaving until you bless me."
That's right. And Jacob was the one who took the birthright, right? He took his birthright.
Right. Yeah, I think it was Jacob.
He wasn't the oldest. His brother was Esau,
right.
And Esau was supposed to get the blessing of his father. And the mother brought Jacob and said, "No, this is the one that's going to get the blessing."
my mother, God rest her soul, she wanted me to be a minister. And I fought it. I tried everything else. I said, no, I don't want to be. But the more I learn about changing mindsets, and the more I learn about you can be that in that image of your creator. The image that he was talking about was not about a physical image, nothing about breath or anything. It's a creative substance that is in all and through all. That image is with us to be able to create. We're creators. We are made in that image. We have everything that we see around us, everything that we participate in, everything comes from somebody else's thought. Somebody else's thought. So you can imagine how powerful thought is. The thought gives us what we want. So we want good health. You want wealth. You want to see things change. One man thought can do that. So yes, we are that creative element. We're that creative substance. We're the physical part of it. And I tell people, I know a lot of Christians get mad with me when I say to them, but I say, look, we are God in the physical flesh. If you don't understand that, you need to actually, even the scripture, it says he will and do through us. That means physically, he cannot really do a lot of things unless he has man doing it for him. God is not going to help the homeless guy on the street unless he has someone inspired like myself or someone who walks across the street and help that homeless person. But he's not going to come down. So we are his physical being. We are the physical being of the creator. So we need to understand that and live as that kind of, with that creative force, and we could do anything we want to do.
Oh, I love it. And that's a wonderful way for us to wrap it up. We're going to have to bring you back on, Dr. Oliver, so we could have you for the full amount of time.
Yes, yes. Sorry, I was
what
trying
you
to find
just said. Oh, no problem, no problem. But what you just said about manifestation, it just falls right in line with everything we're talking about on this show for people to understand and manifest the life that they want, because we are the image of God. Exactly what you said. Now, I'm going to tell you, I just looked up really quick so you'll know. Jacob comes from the biblical story, or Jacob, how yours is spelled. Biblical story of how Jacob was born holding the heel of his twin brother Esau, and Esau came out first, but Jacob ended up getting his father's blessings. And it says that it is to supplant, circumvent, assail, overreach from the word heal. So you are absolutely reaching out, and your mother's dream has come true because you're a minister for healing. Just the information you shared this morning, we just had a little nugget of it. So I know that there's so much more to come, and I really look for, I'm so honored to even have an opportunity to speak with you today. And,
no problem. I'm looking forward to coming back on soon.
And Dr. Money, can you wrap things up for us? I don't know, your internet connection's been a little slow.
It has been an amazing day.
That's Jamaica. That's Jamaica, no problem.
But also to talk about determination, because even though, like I said, I couldn't hear both of you, I was just like, go for it, and keep it moving. But basically, I think really today's focus was just saying we were laying that foundation about why the mindset is so important, and having a clear understanding on what it is that you want to do, and not taking the money as a word, as a currency, and making that something that you reject, because you then will reject it, and you will not attract it. So we're so glad everyone tuned in again today for Money and Mindset. We'll be back again tomorrow, same place. We'll let you know when we're going to bring Dr. Oliver back, so that you can add more. If you have questions to share with us, that will be, I'm sure, enriching and fulfilling, and definitely in terms of what we've been talking about. So with that, I'll toss it to Dr. Murray to close out.
We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. So let's shut down the live, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right.